Hello everyone, my name is Angela Zabel. I am a teacher, coach, and medium. Today I wanted to try a little bit of a new scenery behind me, which I thought you might appreciate. So today, what I'd like to talk about is you and your role in this aspect of history. So you may be wondering, how does that fit me? So let's back up a little bit. Right now, all of us are experiencing a time in history that has not been seen before. And if you take yourself out of the chaos and fear that may be happening right now, and step back and realize you are personally experiencing this time in history, unique time where most of the world is affected all at the same time. So we're kind of all in this together. Now if we look at that and go, but how does that affect me? Let's step back at yourself right now and look at the lack of distractions that a vast majority of the world has at this moment. There are some people out there where nothing has really changed in their life. But for the vast majority of others, a lot has changed in your life. You're not going out to eat. You're not meeting with your friends. If you have young kids, you're not running all over with all the extra activities at school. So you're not doing those things, the traveling, the just busyness of everyday life. So how many of you have said before, oh, I just can't even hardly keep up with my life. It's so busy. And now look at your life now and what a difference it's taken. And for those teaching your children at home, I feel for you. But even with that, you still have probably more free time than what you did before because of all the extracurricular activities your children may have been involved in or you have been involved in. All the people who meet friends and are on different leagues and get together, have lots of family gatherings. That hasn't happened now. So what has that done? It's brought it back to you. This whole aspect has been brought back to you and your choices in your life without the distractions. So think of that for a moment. How many people around the world are now discovering that the only choices they had are what's right in front of them? Us here. We make the choice, and our choices affect our lives. And not so much of everybody else's like you may have thought. But your choices affect you. And that's something that a lot of people hasn't had time to even look at before. So step back and realize how much you matter to you. And that may sound a little different, but a lot of people haven't taken time for themselves. How many people have said, oh, if I had more time, I would do this. Or if I had more time, I would investigate this pursuit I've been looking at my whole life, but I just haven't had time. But now the world is presenting you, not all of us, because some of us are working extra hard, but the ones who do have the time should take that time and investigate what they want to do, what they want to do for fun. Is there something you've been wanting to do for a long time? Have you wanted to pick up a guitar? Have you wanted to read a book? Have you wanted to make that special recipe? Or have you wanted to just have the time to sit and be you, to take that time and take a breath and say, man, I've been so busy, but who am I? That is what this time in history is allowing us to do. Another thing I want to touch on is right now, because of the lack of distractions, you start realizing how much your choices matter and how much you matter. But realize that along with that, we are all connected. As you've noticed, as you've felt, I think a lot of you have felt that connection more than anything. And what a great intuitive tool you have just stepped into. You're feeling the emotion of all the people around you in the world without you actually being in their presence. So when you think of that, you start realizing that we are all connected in such a way that we don't even realize. That's called the interdimensional connection. That's the connection of all of us together. We all pick up on everybody else in this world and beyond. And now we're starting to feel that. So this time in history has made us realize that in ways that probably couldn't have happened in another way. And it could have, but it's happening a lot faster because I do feel that connection would have been felt either way. But now that connection is so much faster and so much more in your face, let's say, because you notice it. So with that being said, start thinking about your words and your actions because they matter. They really do. So if you realize we're all connected and you feel other people's fear or concern, let's turn it around. If you start putting out feelings of understanding and acceptance to others, what if we turn that vibration of fear around to that? What if we can bring this world together at this unique time in history? There are opportunities that can come out of all of this that's going on around us if we choose to look for it. At this time in history, you now know that you matter. You matter to yourself. You matter to the world. And what you put out to that world matters. So think of it. If we are not concentrating on this person, that person, let's take the race, the creed, the financial, let's take all of that away. Let's look at people as people. Now, there are good people and bad people, as you say, in all aspects of life. It doesn't matter if they're a person on the street, if they're a person in a high-paying job, if they're a person anywhere in between. That person matters. And that person is responsible for their individual energy they put out to the world. So let's ask, why are we putting people in boxes? There's no reason to put people in boxes. I bet if you back up and look at your family, every person in that family is an individual. Every person has individual needs, wants, and they're different, as they should be. So don't start putting everybody in the same box. Start realizing your words matter. And at this point, we can bring this country and this world together in ways that could have never happened in a long, long time in history. They would have happened. but it would have been a long ways down the road. But now we have the opportunity to make it happen now. So remember, your words, your emotions are feeding into the collectiveness of all of us. So think about what you're feeding to the world. You may be surprised at what you are putting out. So I hope all of you evaluate what you're putting out to the world. Are you putting out dissonance? Or are you trying to bring the world together? I always say, I don't care what color, how much you make. I don't care where you live or what you live in. I care about you as a person. And I hope all of you do the same. And with that, I hope you take the time to enjoy this beauty that's all around us every day, that we now get to take a deep breath and enjoy fully without the extra distractions. And I hope you realize the part you play in this part of history, because it is bigger than what you think. So recognize your part in history today. And with that, I hope you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button to see my next videos coming up. And you can also check out my website at www.angelazabel.com. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I usually post on there 4 to 5 times a week. And with that, enjoy your place in history today.